Let's bring in the man you see on your screen right there, Florida Congressman Cory Mills, who voted in favor of keeping Kevin McCarthy as Speaker yesterday. Congressman, what is your reaction to this outcome? You have 8 Democrats who joined forces with all 208, or 8 Republicans who joined forces with all 208 Democrats to oust Kevin McCarthy. What's your reaction to this? Why did this happen? And where do things go from here?
Well, it's good to be with you guys this morning. Look, the bottom line is that Kevin McCarthy knew exactly what the rules were when he came into Speaker. He understood what the motion to vacate would mean. I do agree with the 8 with regards to the things that may have been promised that wasn't delivered. I mean, we did ask for 12 appropriation bills by September 30th. That's not a floating holiday. So clearly that's important for us to be able to get that done so we can not only fund the government, but we can defund things like DOJ's weaponized FBI and the Jack Smith investigation, things like this. And so there was many areas looking at Labor H as a way, looking at securing the border with H.R. 2, as well as for other things that needed to happen. But look, we were supposed to return to pre-COVID level spending. The whole idea was to cut spending, reform programs, and make sure that we grew our economy. And that really wasn't happening. And here we was on a CR. And remember, I voted no on both CRs. I do not believe in continuing resolutions. I do not believe in sitting an omnibus or an actual minibus across the table. But I think that right now, with the timing, we had 12 appropriation bills to finish within roughly 40 days. This may lead to another CR now that you've got McHenry, who has now adjourned us for a full week. That means no bills come to the floor, no policies come to the floor. The weaponized DOJ stays actually, fully funded. Our border remains open. And so personally, if this was going to happen, I would rather have seen it happen after this month where we had the schedule to get the appropriation bills done. But now we're at an absolute freeze for the next week until we can actually get a new speaker in place, which what we need is a good, unifying, conservative, constitutionally based speaker who is willing to meet the mission to secure our border and to get our spending under control.
Okay, I understand the policy arguments. I understand the promises arguments. But to a certain extent, let's be realistic, Congressman, that is way in the weeds for the average American. So I'm going to turn this around looking ahead to next year. How should the average Republican view this? Because I'm sure to many, it looks like you guys, you Republicans in Congress, took a gift horse of a wildly unpopular president who's going to be on the ticket when all these representatives are up for election in 2024 and turned it into the loss of the House majority in 2024. What do you say to the average Republican who's thinking that this morning?
Well, Todd, I don't necessarily agree with the premise that we're going to lose the House in 2024. I mean, if you look at what we've done so far, we did try and push these across, and the Senate unfortunately refused to take them up. But we passed H.R. 1, which is our Low-Cost Energy Act, H.R. 2, Secure the Border Act, H.R. 5, the Parental Bill of Rights Act, H.R. 21, which denies Biden his right to be able to try and sell off our petroleum reserves. We passed things like the LSG, which is the Limit Save Grow bill that would have got us back to a 1.471 spending level, which is pre-COVID levels. These are all things that was done in the House, as well as the D.C. crime bill that passed that Joe Biden said he would veto. There were good things that were moving forward. I think the American people see that. The problem is that we have a Senate that is controlled by 2 Democrats, Mitch McConnell and Chuck Schumer. We need to acknowledge the fact that the House has been doing its job for the most part, but we missed key deadlines. That is an issue for even me. We should have had our appropriation bills done by September 30th, and if they weren't done, then we shouldn't have taken a 6-week recess. We need to pass something, which I believe it was Jody Arrington who put on the table, which is something like a No Budget, No Recess Act, which guarantees us that we're actually able to legislate and appropriate, which is our jobs here in Congress.
Well, we're running out of time here, but really quickly, Kevin McCarthy said he's not going to run as Speaker again. Top contenders: Steve Scalise, Tom Emmers, Elise Stefanik, Patrick McHenry, Mike Johnson. As we said, Donald Trump's name has even been thrown into the mix. Who's going to be the next Speaker? When's it going to happen?
Well, I'd certainly support President Donald J. Trump, but I can tell you that also Steve Scalise is a great option, Tom Emmer, but I would throw Byron Donalds into that mix. I think Byron is a phenomenal leader.
All right. Cory Mills, thanks so much for joining us. I know it was an odd day yesterday. Appreciate you getting up, being here with us.
Thank you.